Hello my friends and welcome to a special edition of the Chest of Obscurity. This time we are looking at Tommy Lasorda Baseball, otherwise known as Super League. I suppose it's Japanese name, Super League.
First baseman.
Now, mind you, I don't do many sports games. Unless, for some reason, I'm practically good at it. And I've never been that good at sports to begin with. So this is a redo of things, of a video I currently did, which is now. Over this week, Tommy Lasorda actually passed away on the 5th. So just last week, he just passed away. Which was on 7, really.
Shortstop.
The man had a career about yay long since he'd been in the MLB.
Ball.
I mean, you know him better as the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Save.
And he played for both the Dodgers and the Athletics, the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Kansas City Athletics, before they were transferred over to California,
Left fielder.
where they would now be called the Oakland Athletics, or the Oakland A's, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, which recently won the World Series back in 2020.
Third baseman. Foul. Save.
I decided not to actually, play the game, but actually let it play itself
Third baseman.
while
Out.
I tell you his life.
Right fielder.
This is probably one of the most clearest games I've ever heard in a long ass time.
First base.
And for a
Foul.
game of this caliber back in the early 90s,
Right.
you couldn't tell how clear this is when compared to, say, other games like baseball games like Tecmo Baseball and Bases Loaded. I mean, truly, you listen to something like this, wow, I think baseball
Save.
in the video game world has gotten better over time.
Center fielder. Out.
So I feel, out of respect of
Save.
the man, I figure I should do a video based
Save.
off this game, which he was named after. I mean, there have been plenty of video games back in the day that had certain names under it, underneath it, like John Elway,
Right fielder.
John Elway quarterback, Tommy Lasorda baseball. Bo Jackson baseball.
Second baseman. Out.
Dusty Diamond softball. Legends of the Diamond, which basically was ahead of its time because they had names
Fielder.
that were like OG baseball, you know what I mean? From way back in the day.
Safe.
And like I said, baseball out of all the many,
Safe.
out of the main sports that have been emulated through video games, have actually gotten better. And it's not just because, oh, it changed hands. No, it just simply got better.
Out.
I mean, as comparing it to, say, baseball. I mean, not baseball. Compared to, say, any other sport like golf or basketball or even wrestling.
Shortstop.
There have been times, even fishing. There have been times that, some sports just
Safe.
wear out and fizzle out before it even gets a chance. Like fishing. Very few games actually get as far as they do because
Second baseman. Out.
interest. It's like what I'm doing. Like Chest of Obscurity is basically that.
Second baseman.
If anything, Chest of Obscurity basically shows off the games of yesteryear. Whereas, doing a Let's Play,
Safe.
I'm opening it up a lot more than just what I normally do, which was,
Second baseman.
which is mainly just, me going, me playing one game, which is like this game and this game and this game, which is either an RPG, a beat 'em up, a hack and slash,
Safe.
or even a visual novel,
Safe.
even a point and click, In hindsight,
Shortstop.
while I'm on the subject of baseball and sports in general, my favorites, to be honest, are soccer and bowling.
Out.
I would only watch baseball when the World Series is happening.
Safe.
I don't really care much for football because for some reason, I don't know.
Safe.
Between that and basketball, I think people
Second baseman.
would lose a lung or maybe something else due to, the excitement in the field. But me, the only time I actually do like certain sports is, I should say this about baseball. I do like Little League baseball
Safe.
over college baseball and even pro baseball.
Shortstop. Out.
Because technically it is much more enjoyable.
First baseman. Out.
It's like the Olympics. And the Olympics is something, and wow, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm just gonna stick with the demo. Fuck that. Fuck playing it. Just the demo will show you even more.
Play ball. Third baseman.
I mean, for what the game is worth,
Safe.
it is what it is. And I feel most people forget that that, you know, sports, you're just playing a game. One side has to win, one side has to lose. And then, you know, people tend to lose their shit. I'm not one of those people who actually loses their shit over a ball game. Or any other sport. If it was wrestling, back in the day, I used to be like really, really into wrestling, and then over time, I was just off it. Only because I think, you know, it had gotten boring to a point to where I just didn't watch it for years. So, you know, I've gotten back to actually watch wrestling, and you know, I've been watching All Elite Wrestling, so or AEW on TNT. And I don't watch it for big names, you know. It's not like WWE. You know, like it's all about, you know, looking good for the crowd and everything. So we already know. It's entertainment. It's kind of stupid just to call it World Wrestling Entertainment. We already know you're doing this for entertainment. You just don't have to rub it in with the entertainment. And the only thing I just never did like about wrestling was the damn storylines. I didn't really care much for it. Seriously, what was it about? Like, how did this shit all start with a rivalry, and then you build up this rivalry that will last for weeks and weeks on end until there is closure? I understand what it's for, just to get the ratings and everything, but still, it's like, okay, do you honestly need a storyline for all this shit? Do you? Honestly, do you? I don't think so.
Center fielding. Out.
Excuse me. I'm honestly impressed that after everything that has been going on here, the demo is probably the most enjoyable I've seen so far, because it doesn't go like, oh, 5 seconds, it goes back to the title screen. No, they give you like maybe a good chunk, like 5 minutes for a demo. So that's why I say, you know what? I don't have to play the game. I can just talk over it. I tried playing it, and to my end, I just kept losing. So there's no real point in me just pushing start at this point. This is much too much enjoyment for me to, you know, to want to press start and say, oh hey, I'm going to be playing this game now, just to show this off.
First baseman, foul.
I mean, in hindsight,
Second baseman.
Diamond Lasorda in life has been a very busy man. Had been a very busy man. Apologies. The only problem he ever had was he had heart complications, or in this case,
Left fielder. Out.
the man had done a lot. He was a pitcher,
Third
a
baseman.
manager,
Out.
the man won Manager of the Year
Ball.
in the National League twice. The Dodgers retired his number 2 jersey.
Third baseman.
man has met Bush in '91.
Right.
He managed the Dodgers. He was named vice president. And then he was GM.
Safe.
I mean, jeez, when I'm reading about this guy,
Safe.
say what you want about the man, but the man got history. The man had history with baseball, with the sport.
Safe.
I mean, hell, what can I say about him?
Right fielder.
He's a legend. He's a legend in sports entertainment. Preferably baseball. And there will never be a greater man than Tommy Lasorda.
Safe.
Now, whether you hate the sport
Right fielder.
or you don't like the you don't like the team, that's your prerogative and you're welcome to it. Me, I only watch baseball when I know anybody from California is in
Right fielder.
the World Series. That's where my loyalties lie. It lies with where I live, not the team.
Safe.
Because it could be the Dodgers, it could be the Angels, it could be the Padres, it could be the A's. As long as there is somebody
Out.
representing California in whatever sport, I'm okay with that.
Out.
Oh, especially if it was baseball,
Safe.
that'd be my number one thing. So did somebody from California actually get in this time? I was like, can we go? Can we get in there this time? I mean, it goes without saying,
Shortstop. Out.
if you ever ask me where my loyalty lies, I say it lies with my state. Where I live,
Ball.
that's who I want to win. I want somebody, anybody from California, don't matter, to actually get in
Out.
the finals. No matter what it is, whether it's baseball, whether it's
Third baseman.
basketball, whether it's football. Wrestling is a whole different matter because, you know, wrestling is worldwide. You know, it's totally worldwide, so, you know, therefore, you can't really just say, oh, well, I want this person. No, you can't really say that.
Play ball.
Because wrestling is just one straight up wild card of a sport.
First baseman.
It never used to be that way, but, you know, it changed up over the years. But as I stated before,
Safe.
as far as everything else
Baseman.
is concerned,
Out.
what it all comes down to is if you enjoy the sport.
Safe.
If you enjoy the sport very much, okay. That's fine, that's dandy. But,
Safe.
please, whatever you do,
Shortstop.
I understand you get hyped for your team, and that's fine. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you.
Safe.
But let's not go too far with the name calling and whatnot, you know, being competitive and whatnot. I said there's a difference between being competitive and just being an ass. Most people don't see it that way. I have two friends that, basically, I like to say I respectfully back away when it comes to sports.
Second baseman.
Because when they get into it, they get into it. When it comes to that time, when it's gonna happen, and it usually does happen, I'll make sure I step far, far away from the chaos. Because I know. Words are gonna be said when it comes to sports. No, I'm not into like the facts and figures as far as sports have been.
First baseman.
Because I only want to enjoy watching a sport. So my brain just turns off when I hear facts and figures.
Shortstop. Out.
It's like me watching wrestling. I really don't care about the history of this person, that person, this person, that person. I'm sure it's all well and good and
First baseman.
as interesting as it would sound, but at the same damn time,
Safe.
no. That's not for me. Call it what you will.
Safe.
But it is what it is, and that's me.
Second
I just
baseman.
enjoy something that's just, I could say, for what it's worth watching. And I rarely watch a good
Right.
ball game. But then again, you know, like I said, I like watching different kinds of sports like soccer and bowling.
Right fielder.
And probably, if it's good,
Out.
mixed martial arts.
First baseman.
And maybe some Olympics. To be quite honest, I wonder whatever happened to the Special Olympics. I mean, if it's still around, or
Out.
I don't know. Like I said, I decided not to play it, but you know, just to show it off, because that's what I usually like to do in Chest of Obscurity, like to show off certain games that most people do not remember. But for what it's worth, you know, you have to give it, you know, it's credit where credit's due. So for what it's worth,
Out.
Time in Lasorda baseball is one of those games
Shortstop. Out.
that is just as good as the Sporting News baseball.
Center fielder.
Bases loaded,
Out.
and even Tecmo baseball. So with that said, though, I think I'm going to call this video because,
Second baseman.
well, I like to end things off on a very cheerful note.
Safe.
With that said, as we are walking into this new year together,
Third baseman.
and we had to hear all the weird and crackpot news out there, don't get into the hype. Please, for the love of God,
First
do
baseman.
not get into the hype about what's going on with the news. It's just not worth it. Some, it is, but it's really not worth it.
Safe.
So until the next of whatever I plan on showing off, be it the Chest of Obscurity,
Safe.
a review, or one of my many Let's Plays,
Third baseman.
this has been Izzy, and
Out.
I consider this chest closed. Thanks so much for watching.